All right, welcome to The Explainer. So today, we're going to tackle a word we all think we know, science. But we're going to look at it in a totally new way. Not as, a boring list of facts you have to memorize for a test, but as something, well, something much, much bigger.
And this quote right here, it just nails it. This is the whole spirit of what we're talking about. But the most amazing part, you're never going to guess where this comes from. This isn't from some famous philosopher or scientist. This is literally from the introduction to a 7th grade science textbook. It's an invitation, and in this explainer, we're definitely going to accept it.
Okay, invitation accepted. Let's dive in. And our journey, it starts by looking even closer at that textbook itself. The people who made this book were so clever. They baked this whole idea of exploration right into the design. I mean, look at this. They point out that the page numbers aren't just sitting there on the page. They actually follow the flight path of a butterfly and a paper plane. It's one of those tiny details that's actually, a huge deal.
I mean, how cool is this? The butterfly, that's your curiosity. It just flits around, playfully wherever it wants to go. And the paper plane, well, that's exploration. That's taking an idea and really letting it fly, seeing how far you can make it soar. So even something as simple as turning a page becomes part of this bigger adventure.
All right, so if we're going on this journey, what do we need to pack? This next part is all about the most important piece of gear you'll ever need, the explorer's mindset. And this, right here, is the big shift in thinking. Science isn't about having a library of facts in your head. It's a process. It's a completely different way of looking at the world, one that says, hey, it's okay not to know stuff. In fact, it's great, because not knowing, that's where the real adventure kicks off. So how do you actually get this mindset? Well, the source gives us a really simple 4-step guide. First, you just let yourself be curious. Then you start pushing a little bit, asking those deeper questions. After that, you'll start to see how everything is connected. And finally, you start to embrace your own role in the whole thing. And that last step, responsibility, it's so important. The more you explore and the more you understand, the more you see that you're not just an observer watching from the sidelines. The journey connects you to the world around you and kind of reminds you that you have a real impact. And this is where it gets really fun. Because once you've got that explorer's mindset, you suddenly realize that the map for this journey, it's literally everywhere. You don't need some fancy lab.
Exactly. The adventure doesn't start in some far-off place. It starts right where you are, right now. It's in your kitchen, in the clothes you're wearing, inside your own body. It's in all the things we see every day, but maybe never stop to really question.
Like, for instance, have you ever really thought about why some fruits are sour and others are sweet? It's a simple question, right? But boom, it opens up a doorway to the entire world of chemistry.
Or what about this one? A classic household mystery. You get a turmeric or haldi stain on your shirt, you put soap on it, and it turns bright red. Why? That's not just a mess. That's a chemical reaction happening right there in your laundry basket. And the exploration can turn inward, too. I mean, how do our bodies change from when we're kids to when we're adults? Every single change is like a little window into the massive world of biology. And then, from something so personal, we can leap to the cosmic. How is it possible that the Earth and Moon can cast shadows on each other that we see as an eclipse? The same curiosity that questions a piece of fruit can question the entire universe. It's the same process, just on a much, much grander scale. And this is the big payoff. This is what it's all about. You start to see the hidden patterns. The tiny thing happening in your glass follows the exact same rules as the massive thing happening at the poles. It's all one beautifully connected system. Okay, so we've established that science is a journey and the map is everywhere. But what's the one tool you absolutely cannot leave home without? And I'll give you a hint. It's not a microscope or a telescope. It's something way more powerful. This right here, this simple chart, it just flips everything on its head. In school, our whole lives, we're trained to answer the question. But real science, real discovery, that begins when you have the courage to question the answer. To look at something everyone takes for granted and ask, but wait, why? I just love this line from the source material. It's so simple, but so profound. To be a wise person, you must be a wise person. Wisdom isn't about having all the answers locked away. It's about having the courage to keep asking why. So, you know what? Let's try this out. Let's play a little game that comes straight from the textbook. It's called Question the Answer. It's simple. I'm going to give you an answer. Your only job is to come up with the question. And remember, there are no wrong questions here. Ready? Okay, here's the first one. The answer is, just add some milk. Okay, think about it for a second. What could the question possibly be?
Maybe the question was, how do I make my coffee less bitter? Or, my cereal is way too dry, what should I do? It could even be, what's the secret to making really creamy mashed potatoes, right? The possibilities are totally endless.
All right, let's try one more. This one's a little more out there. The answer is, because the cat's teeth were crooked.
So what's the question here? Why couldn't the cat eat the crunchy food? Why did the vet say Mittens needed braces? See how it works? The fun is all in the creativity of asking. You're exercising your scientific mind right now.
And that really is the whole point, isn't it? Science isn't some subject trapped in a book or a classroom. It's a mindset. It's an invitation to be curious about absolutely everything. The journey doesn't require a lab coat, just your next question. So let me leave you with this. What will you question today?